What's up, Taiwan? I'm Rik Glauert with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Over 350 people in Taipei have been evacuated from their apartments. Nearby construction work is believed to have destabilized the buildings, causing them to lean. Residents say they had complained of cracks in the walls for months, but that the city government said they had nothing to worry about. John Van Trieste has this report.
People in this Taipei neighborhood came home to this on Thursday evening. Just after 8:30, the fire department got a call saying about 6 apartment blocks had started leaning and some had partially collapsed. No one was hurt, but 367 people have been evacuated. Officials, including Taipei's mayor, have inspected the scene. He says a nearby construction project is to blame.
现场因为往下开挖3层，但是并没有马上做这个大底，所以造成现在目前了解是连续壁都破裂，所以我们即刻的用灌浆的方式让压力再把它撑回。
But to people in this neighborhood, none of this is news. Residents say they've seen cracks forming in their walls for months. They signed a petition 8 months ago to have someone look into the damage. The response wasn't what they expected.
他应该先来看一下，他没有看呢，就来了公文说无关。这一点我们觉得施工的就是管理单位啊，没有尽到责任。
City Councilor Chen Yijun says she's found this written response from the city. She also says even the evacuation order came later than it should have.
他们里面内部的工人赶快疏散，那已经疏散了半个小时之后，才通知这边的住户要疏散，所以这里的住户相当的生气，认为他们简直就是草菅人命。
The company behind the project, Kitai Properties, has apologized and stopped work. It says it's insured and will take responsibility. But as the damage is appraised, the people who live here are left to settle into hotel rooms and figure out what comes next. Joseph Wu and John Van Trieste in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Mobile chip company MediaTek has developed its first chip using semiconductor giant TSMC's advanced 3-nanometer technology. MediaTek's chipset is set to hit the market next year. It's designed for use in smartphones and intelligent cars, among other devices. This is a breakthrough for the company, which outsources production of its designs. MediaTek now joins Apple in gaining access to TSMC's highly guarded advanced 3-nanometer technology. Demand for these chips is expected to rise. North Korea says it's launched its first operational tactical nuclear submarine and will begin patrols around the Korean peninsula. State media said leader Kim Jong-un was at the launch ceremony and urged the Navy to continue upgrading its existing submarine fleet with nuclear weapons. This is part of North Korea's plans to develop a nuclear-armed navy to counter the United States and its Asian allies. Leaders from across Southeast Asia have wrapped up their biannual meeting, vowing closer cooperation. Rik Glauert reports.
A regional summit ends with a song. Leaders from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, close out their biannual meeting, held this time in Jakarta. For the past few days, they've been discussing regional issues, including security, economics, and climate change. One of the most pressing matters was the ongoing crisis in member state Myanmar, which has been under military rule since 2021. ASEAN has been pushing for peace there.
Untuk menciptakan perdamaian selalu butuh waktu yang panjang, tapi tidak apa, kita harus terus melakukan, kita harus terus berjuang. Dan ASEAN tidak akan tersandra oleh isu Myanmar. Kapal ASEAN harus terus melaju untuk mewujudkan perdamaian, mewujudkan stabilitas, mewujudkan kemakmuran.
Increased regional tensions were also high on the agenda. As China expands its influence in the area and the United States and its allies push back, Southeast Asian countries are caught in the middle. ASEAN says the group must find a way to reduce those tensions or face the consequences.
At the same time, we also have responsibility to lower heated tensions, to soften frozen situations, to create space for dialogue. I can guarantee you, if we are not able to manage differences, we will destroy. If we join the currents of rivalry, we will be destroyed.
ASEAN members have resolved to boost cooperation on multiple fronts, from sustainability to supply chains to upholding democratic values. Other world leaders participating in the summit welcomed the group's push for greater solidarity and stability.
There is a real risk of fragmentation, of a great fracture in world economic and financial systems, with diverging strategies on technology and artificial intelligence and conflicting security frameworks. I commend ASEAN and ASEAN member states for their vital role in building bridges of understanding.
The last item of business for the group was next year's leader, with Laos taking over from Indonesia.
And now we pass the baton to Laos PDR. Mari kita terus perkuat kolaborasi dan kerjasama untuk ASEAN yang damai dan makmur, serta menjadikan dunia sebagai tempat yang lebih baik untuk semua.
Myanmar isn't scheduled to take the reins until 2026, but the group has already decided to have the Philippines take over for it instead. James Lin and Rik Glauert for TaiwanPlus.
Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said the United States is trying to isolate Russia in the Indo-Pacific region.
Конечно же, это имеет одной из главных задач сдерживание Китая, изоляцию России в этом регионе, но это часть абсолютно глобального процесса экспансии НАТО во главе с Вашингтоном.
Lavrov made the comments on a landmark visit to Bangladesh. He's the first Russian minister to travel there since its independence in 1971. Russia and Western countries are seeking Bangladesh's support. The South Asian country has been reluctant to take a side in Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Ghost Month is nearing its end in Taiwan. To mark the occasion, groups gathered in Taipei to pay tribute to victims of past government violence. In the center of Taipei, people worship the spirits of the dead. Scenes like this are common during Taiwan's Ghost Month, but this ceremony is different. These activists are commemorating victims of government violence during a period known as the White Terror. Thousands of people were killed or disappeared during decades of oppression against political dissidents and critics.
Their spirit is not leaving this land because they got murdered or got killed by Chiang Kai-shek government.
The White Terror was carried out during the rule of former leader Chiang Kai-shek, who governed from 1949 until his death in 1975. Since it's become a democracy, Taiwan has been pursuing what's known as transitional justice. It's been pardoning ex-political prisoners, compensating victims, redistributing ill-gotten gains, and removing signs and symbols of the authoritarian past. But activists here say the government is not moving fast enough. Behind them is the country's largest monument to Chiang, the man they believe is responsible for intense suffering. They say traces of Taiwan's authoritarian past, like this one, must go.
这个威权的铜像，它过去其实是屠杀了很多台湾人，而且它是不应该用这种方式被供养在这里，而且我们觉得转型正义没有完成，我们就不是一个民主的国家。
Chiang Kai-shek's legacy has long been a controversial subject in Taiwan. While the people gathered here see him as a dictator, others view him as a strong leader who helped Taiwan keep communist China at bay and grew the country's economy. Many people are against removing statues of Chiang. Demonstrations like this one are a stark reminder of Taiwan's complicated history and of the conflicting ideas about how to remember it. A pharmacy in New Taipei City is providing fitness courses for people with dementia. Workers in the pharmacy say they hope the exercises will support the day-to-day life of elderly people. This comes after a survey by Taiwan's National Health Institute showed that almost 8% of people here over the age of 65 have dementia. The country is adapting its services for elderly people and is on track to become a super-aged society by 2025. Doctors say 1 in 4 adults in Taiwan, or around 5 million people, may have high cholesterol and do not know it. They also say the proportion of younger and middle-aged people with high cholesterol is rising. The condition increases the risk of heart disease, heart attack, and stroke. The World Heart Federation says high cholesterol is behind 4.4 million deaths a year globally. In Taiwan, doctors say people should take a blood test and be aware of the risks of high cholesterol.
当它逐渐累积超过到70%、80%，甚至那个斑块破裂造成堵塞、造成血管的一个完全的这个堵塞之后，产生所谓的心肌梗塞，那这个就是非常严重的并发症。
The Under-18 Baseball World Cup has entered its next stage, with Taiwan at the top of the standings. Leslie Liao takes a look at what the team needs to do to win it all.
12 countries, hundreds of players, and 50 games, all here in Taiwan. The standings for the Under-18 Baseball World Cup are taking shape. The tournament's opening round is over, and now it's time to see who goes on to the finals. In the opening round, 12 countries were divided into two groups, A and B. Teams faced off against other countries in their group. Then the top 3 performers from each group moved on to the super round, while the bottom 3 moved to the placement round to determine their final standing. Countries that make the super round play 3 more games, and the top 4 teams in that stage move on to the championship final and bronze medal game. Team Taiwan is moving on to the super round with a perfect 5-0 record from the opening stages. But its real test begins now because Taiwan's under-18 baseball stars will have to face off against the competition's best as they go for gold. For its first game in the super round, Taiwan faced off against last year's tournament winner, Team USA. This game was a rematch of sorts as Taiwan was last year's runner-up. And what a game it was. Team Taiwan beat the USA 3-0. Pitchers Zhang Junwei and Sun Yilei held their opponents scoreless. Meanwhile, Wang Nianhao, Taiwan's captain, batted in all 3 of his team's runs, including a 2-run home run to left field.
先冲刺，拼他有没有漏接，就飞就飞出去，就当下也是很开心啊！我终于起到带头的作用了，对吧？
Thanks to its perfect record, Team Taiwan had a 2-win advantage going into the super round. Now, with its latest triumph over Team USA, Taiwan has a 3-0 record in the super round. If it can keep up the momentum, gold will be within the team's reach, and winning the U18 at home will make victory all the sweeter. Patrick Sun and Leslie Liao in Tianmu, Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
The Taiwanese fiddler crab is unique to Taiwan, but it's become vulnerable due to habitat loss and invasive species. A county in central Taiwan now plans to intervene. John Van Triest has more.
The Taiwanese fiddler crab is a species found only in Taiwan. Researchers think there are around 870,000, mostly around this one river, the Zhuoshui, in central Taiwan. There could be more, but their numbers are constrained by 2 types of vegetation. Surveys show smooth cordgrass and gray mangrove are increasingly taking over this swampy land. Though the plants can coexist with the crabs to a certain point, too many of them means there's no space for the crabs to lay and hatch their eggs. The local Yunlin County government has a plan to restore balance between the two.
这次我们会进行所谓的海茄苳的移除啦，就是为了保育和找草蟹的部分。
The plan is to have workers clear around 20 hectares by the end of October. It may be tough work, but conservationists say it will be worthwhile.
台湾旱招草蟹，然后它是全世界的特有种，只有在台湾才有。那它经过生态调查，发现有85% 以上的数量都在浊水溪出海口这个地方。所以我们其实做书法有一部分是为了帮它建立更好的生态环境。
The hope is that a bit of human intervention will help bring the balance this special native species needs to thrive. Scott Huang and John Van Triest for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of icebergs and wildlife in Antarctica. I'm Rik Glauert, take care and we'll see you next time.
For more stories from Taiwan and around the world, download the TaiwanPlus app.